Do you know how many pull-ups statistically
a female can do?
Yeah.
Unassisted?
Unassisted pull-ups, how many do you think they can do?
On average, probably 1.5.
How many do you think?
4?
0.
Really?
0. The answer is 0.
To be honest, it's probably true, and it's not just women. Less than 25% of the population even does any dedicated resistance training, so that takes most men off the table as well. But more importantly, pull-ups are tough and they take time to build the strength for. It took me, I think, years to get my first pull-up, and then another year after that to get to 5 sets of 5. It's a slow process. That's normal. Most pull-ups just don't happen overnight. But after lots of trial and error, I've found a set of progressions that actually work. So my clients get their pull-ups a lot faster than I ever did. We'll go through those progressions today, and then I'm just gonna build to a 1RM pull-up and see how I go. There are 3 main parts of the pull-up: the bottom, the middle, the top. Most people bottleneck their pull-ups either at the bottom or at the top. Let's look at the position at the bottom. I'm grabbing the bar with my knuckles facing the ceiling, and I'm dropping down into a dead hang. My biceps are covering my ears here. Our first step is gonna be to do a scap pull-up. So I'm hanging here, I pull my shoulder blades down toward my pelvis, and you can see that my earlobe moves away from my shoulder as I do that. And while every video on YouTube is going to tell you to do the scap pull-up, not all of them will tell you this. When we do the scap pull-up, it actually gives us a little bit of the momentum that we need to get out of the bottom of the pull-up. So we don't want to do the scap pull-up, pause, and then pull. We actually want to use that to break the inertia and begin the pull out of the bottom. This isn't just about the strength of the scap pull-up. It's about overcoming the inertia, and it's also about positioning ourselves so that we can use the big back muscles, the lats, rather than just pulling with the arms. And once we're out of the hole, we need to move through the middle. The middle of the pull-up is really straightforward. Once we've set our shoulder blades in that good position, done that bottom of the pull, just keep pulling your elbows down toward the ground. That's it. Change nothing. For cleaner reps, we want to maintain our body line. So that means either holding a straight position or a little bit of a hollow body by pulling the ribs down and tucking the pelvis under, holding here. It helps a lot to have a little bit of a squeeze going in the legs. So I like to think about squeezing my quads, squeezing my bum, and keeping my legs held together just for that tension all the way down the body. That will get you most of the way up. At the top, we have to work hard to maintain our position without scrunching, kicking, or generally just looking like a gargoyle. It's helpful to spend extra time at the top in the beginning of your pull-up journey because this is a sticking point for so many people. Now let's break this down into more depth. The bottom, the middle, and the top. We've got progressions for each one. So let's start with the 3 that we've got at the bottom. We already talked briefly about the scap pull-up. So that's our one where we're in a dead hang, and then we pull our armpits down toward our hips and return to that dead hang position. You'll also hear this called the active passive hang. This is us pulling ourselves into that strong position from which we initiate the pull-up. And we want to get to a place where we can do 3 sets of 10 of those quite comfortably before we move on. Next up from the scap pull-up is our arching active hang. This is a somewhat optional step. You can absolutely get away with not doing it, but I think it's a really powerful way to get connected with your lats before you start doing your pull-ups. So we sort of do our scap pull-up, and then we continue lifting the chest toward the sky and pushing down on the bar. So pull, lift, press, and come back down. I like to see people doing 3 sets of 3 of those before they move into the next progression. This last one is the bottom quarter pull-up, which is really just about practicing that movement from the scap pull-up into the pull-up itself. So we literally just go from that dead hang, scap pull-up straight into a little bit of a bent arm pull. Scap pull-up, pull. Scap pull-up, pull. So it's partly about that momentum thing, breaking the inertia, and it's also about just getting some extra reps in at the bottom where people tend to find it to be hard. Our first movement to train at the middle of the pull-up is going to be an inverted row. This is actually a horizontal pulling movement, but it's still going to help you replicate many of the shapes that you'll make in the vertical pull. I like to set this up from the top because it's just a little bit easier to understand. You want to be pulling the bar to somewhere between the bottom of your bra strap, the bottom of your pecs, and the middle of your nipple line. So I kind of just awkwardly shuffle myself in down to here, bring my feet out that far, soften the knees so my feet are flat on the floor, and then I descend down into that position, find my grip, pull back up. And we can see at the top, I'm still getting that nice sort of squeeze of the shoulder blades. All right, this next movement is our feet elevated pull-up. So we're gonna put a barbell in a rack, we're gonna hang down from there. Important that when you are hanging, your shoulders and hips are directly below the bar. And then you're just gonna pop your feet up on something here. The higher you go with this, the harder it's gonna be, because we wanna use the feet as little as possible to assist ourselves on the way up. So we're holding the bar, hanging down, feet go up on here, and we do a little pull-up with as much weight in our hands as possible, trying not to be too heavy in the feet. This is our third progression, our banded pull-up or assisted pull-up. You can use an assisted pull-up machine, that's fine. I just like the band because you kind of hang down a bit more naturally. So we pull the band down and then we step the middle of the foot in, and then you can hold on to something if you're not sure, or if you're using a big band, but I prefer both feet in the band wherever you can. Then you're gonna grab the bar, knuckles up, into your dead hang, engage, and pull. Our last one is the pull-up negative. So you're gonna wanna slap something into the rig if you're in a gym like this so that you can step up and make sure it's kind of higher than you expect, because you wanna be able to step all the way to the top. So I'm pushing down with my foot at the same time as I'm pulling here to get myself into the top position, and then I'm letting go with that foot so that I can slowly lower myself down to the bottom, trying to keep that long neck and engaged shoulder position the whole time. So stand, take control of the arms, nice, slow, steady lower to the bottom, repeat. We want to build to the point that we can do 3 sets of 5 to 8 of those quite comfortably, and then we'll be in a much better position to do a full pull-up. All right, now we're coming back to our inverted row position, and we're just gonna practice our iso hold at that top position. Find your kind of like nipple line or bottom of your bra strap onto here, and we're literally just gonna hold in this position. It should feel quite heavy in the arms. You should have to work hard here, and we're kind of pulling the shoulder blades down and together to maintain position. The lower you set the barbell in the rack, the harder this is gonna be, and you can also elevate the feet at the other end to make it more challenging. I like to work toward 20-second holds, which doesn't sound long, but it really is. So 3 sets of 20 seconds with like quite an elevated foot or a low set bar is gonna put you in a really good position for success at the top of your pull-up. All right, we're back to our bar high up in the rack, setting it, I don't know, chin height maybe. It's probably gonna depend honestly on your levers, but this is us practicing our holds at the top. So you're gonna find something to elevate your feet on, and we're gonna grab the bar, and we're essentially gonna practice holding in that top position with as much weight in the bar as we can. So we're leaving our foot there so that we get a little bit of assistance, but we don't wanna put all our weight in there. If I just stand here and I'm kind of like barely holding onto the bar, it's not gonna do a lot. I want all the weight that I possibly can in my arms, just a little toe assist from here. Holding again. Our last top progression is going to be an iso hold with the band, and then I'll take away the band. So literally we're just practicing holding at the top, and we're using the band for a little bit of support. So same nice solid overgrip, both feet in the band for those of you that can, and then pull, hold at the top, maintain this position. I like to force people into 20-second holds because I'm kind of mean. Build up some tension here. And then eventually we just get rid of the band, and we do exactly the same thing. I don't usually force people to do 20 seconds here before they do pull-ups. That seems excessive. Here you go. Hey guys, if you want access to my Get Your First Pull-Up program, you can download it here in the Ganbaru app for free. Just use the code ANNA at checkout and then scroll down to the bodyweight section of the app and you'll be able to access the program right there. That's it. If we master those 3 parts, top, middle, bottom, you'll be well on your way. Now, I know I'm going to get asked in the comments about body composition, so let me just say this. Yes, you do need strength relative to your body weight to do a pull-up, but that doesn't mean you need to be a certain size to be able to do a pull-up. If you're a heavier, larger individual, you'll just end up getting stronger than a smaller individual to do the same movement. With consistent training, anyone can build the strength that they need to do their first strict pull-up. Just focus on building strength and the skill that we've talked about today and keep doing the reps. Pull-ups do take time, but with the right approach and the right amount of consistency, you'll get yours way faster than I did. I'm gonna max out my strict pull-ups, so stick around if you're curious. I have no idea how this is gonna go. done that before.
Really? Zero. The answer is zero. The answer is zero.
I don't think I got that. Well, one day. All right, guys, comment in the comment section if you think I got that. I don't, but if you do, then I love you.